Hi, my name is Jeremiah Tiffin, and I'm the head volleyball coach here at Our Lady of the Lake University in San Antonio, Texas. We are excited to introduce you to our volleyball program and our academic program at the Lake. Our volleyball program has received multiple conference championships and All-Americans these previous few years, and we are excited to compete in the Red River Conference and perennially be a contender. Our school offers small classroom sizes and the ability to get to know your professors very well and be able to interact with with close students in order to get the most out of your degree that you can. We're very excited that we have a high graduation rate with our program, and we've had multiple players graduate with honors these past few years. We hope that you enjoy this video and you become a Saint in the near future. Wings up.
And welcome everybody to Maybe Gymnasium here on the beautiful campus of Our Lady of the Lake University. Mike Thompson here with you. This Red River Athletic Conference matchup between the University of St. Thomas out of Houston and your Our Lady of the Lake University Saints. Yeah, this Red River Athletic Conference matchup. Saints coming off a victory yesterday as they went three straight sets over Wiley College. We're now at 13-7 overall in the season, 8-0 in Red River Athletic Conference play. They are a game ahead of Huston-Tillotson, who's in second place. St. Thomas on the season, 7-10 overall, 4-4 in conference. That puts them 4 games back of the Saints. Saints trying to sweep the season series against St. Thomas here and hoping to keep the streak going here for conference victories here this season. Again, 8-0 on the season. The Saints have played the Celts 26 times since 2007 and have won 16, including the one earlier this year. Saints are coming off the big win last night against Wiley College, as again winning that one in 3 straight sets. Big night for the freshman Bailey Hubbard. Finished the night with 5 blocks and 10 kills. And behind her there with 9 kills was the senior, Raven Swain, for senior night, and also had 10 digs on the night for the Saints. As the Saints, again, 8-0 on the season, 8-0 in conference play on the season, 13-7 overall against the 7-10 Celts of St. Thomas, 4-4 at Red River Athletic Conference play. After this one, the Saints will be heading on the road. They'll be in New Mexico to take on the University of the Southwest, and they'll head over to Langston University to take on the Lions. Then they'll have a couple of non-conference matchups, one against Oklahoma City. That'll be on the 21st, and on the 25th against Southwestern University. That'll be in Georgetown. Then they'll take on Huston-Tillotson on the 27th at 6 p.m. They're in Austin. And they return home Halloween night, 6 o'clock start time against Shriner. Then they'll finish off the regular season at home on the 3rd and the 4th taking on Jarvis 6 o'clock on the 3rd. That's a Friday. And the 4th, they'll be taking on Texas College, their alumni weekend, homecoming weekend for the Saints. As we get ready for the start of this one here, the Saints and the Celts. The I-10 rivalry here between these two institutions, the only Catholic institutions in the Red River Athletic Conference. As we get ready for this match to start up. St. Thomas was the Saints' opponent back in 2015, the Saints' first conference championship and tournament championship, as they were able to knock off St. Thomas in that conference championship game. And that's the game that Raven Swain really came into her own. And now the senior leading the Saints here. Saints now 44-3 in conference matchups, while Raven Swain is here. Knocked away their first point, coming now to St. Thomas. 1-0 here in set number 1. The serves continue here as Lauren Endress. That's sent down, kept alive by Swain, and Bailey sent back over by Martinez. Now set up wide there. And Rivera, Martinez again. Again across, there at the neck, catches the top there. And that's going to be put down. So Andres gets that one, and the Saints now trailing St. Thomas 2-0 here in set number 1. Hannah Westerledge with the serve. Swain sends it back off the fingertips of the defenders. Westerledge and back over to Endridge. Back across now. Thomas, Rivera, back deep. Kept alive there by Orange. Now sent over the top there by Thomas. Again set up, back down, Bailey Hubbard. Well, the freshman Bailey Hubbard getting the first points there for the Saints. The Saints now trail by 1 here in set number 1. Anissa Thomas to serve. So Anissa, the freshman from here in San Antonio, set all the way across over to Thomas and gets past the diving Martinez and 3-1. St. Thomas with the lead here. So Lauren Endress, a freshman from Montgomery, Texas, to serve. We'll send it over. Thomas sets up, and Hubbard, just reactionary, just a deflection back over the net. Hubbard again, that time off the defenders. Nice dig there, up and over there by Westerledge. And there's Rivera, and that's going to be blown up at the net by St. Thomas. And put down there by Brescia Orange, the junior from Longview. And St. Thomas now with an early 3-point advantage. Sandridge serve is over. Thomas back now over to Swain. Set up again from back. Thomas comes down there, and it's going to be sent wide, and St. Thomas with a 4-point advantage now. It's Coach Jeremiah Tiffin stepping up from his seat here for a moment now. It's now a 5-point advantage. Or a 4-point advantage for St. Thomas. Thomas back, Swain. And again, kept alive. Thomas back again. Thomas, nice dig. Martinez. Swain will just tap it over. Set up again. Regal there. Dug up by Martinez. And 2 touches by Anissa Rivera. And a 5-point advantage now for St. Thomas. Saints had improved that. Had really struggled with that most of the season with the 2 touches. Just 2 last night on that call. An early one called here today. Serve up and over. Swain. Thomas. And there's Raven Swain, and nothing that Westerlerge could do with that. And a point for the Saints, and the Saints to within 4 now. It's Raven Swain to serve. Natalie Fazio checks in for the Saints. Thomas over the top. Pushed back by Rivetta. Fazio now sends it back and off the fingertips there of Westerlerge, and going to be a point for the Saints. Saints back to within 3 now. Raven Swain, senior from Pflugerville, Texas, sends it up and over. Just able to send it over is Renault. And over is Hubbard, but again, St. Thomas, a good job of keeping it off the floor, and that's going to be sent long by Fazio. And a 4-point advantage for St. Thomas. And looking to serve is Lauren Fernandez-Miller, the junior libero out of Houston. With the serve over. Martinez comes up for it. Thomas back. Rivetta there at the net. Point Saints. Saints back to within 3 now. Alisa Cardenas checking in now for the Saints. Will be at the net with Rivetta and Fazio as Bailey Hubbard serves. Back. Thomas sends it. Up goes Thomas. Hubbard. Fazio can't get it over the top of the net there. And a point, St. Thomas. As they've doubled up the Saints now 8-4. And coming in to serve now, Kelsey Walker, the freshman from Baytown. With the serve, Martinez. Thomas sets ahead over to Swain, who comes forward off the defender's point for the Saints. So Anissa Rivetta now to serve. Up and over. Sent back, and that's going to find its way as Carissa Moran, the junior from Houston, puts it down, and a 5-point, or actually a 4-point lead here for St. Thomas. As Brescia Orange, the junior from Longview, to serve. It's going to find its way in, a service ace. And now the lead is back to 5 again, tying their largest lead of the afternoon. Saints a little sluggish. So start things off there in that. Orange. And Walker back over. Thomas there. Cardenas. Walker to keep it alive. Miller back over now. Rivetta. Fazio at the net. That's going to be just punched over and out by Don Walker. And point for the Saints. Saints back to within 4. It's Natalie Fazio now to serve. The junior from Plano leads the team with 40 aces on the season. Sends that one over. Miller. Back around. Walker sends it over. Rivetta. Cardenas and Fernandez-Miller not able to handle it. Sends it into the stands. The Saints back to within 3 now. Fazio here to serve. And will catch the official stand there on the service error. The lead is at 4. And now Don Walker, the sophomore from Tarkington, Texas. At point for the Saints there. Marina Martinez now, the junior out of McAllen, Texas. Transfer from Prairie View A&M with the serve. So Renault gets it down. And a 4-point lead. As Sophie Renault, the junior, Reidersheim, France. Serve coming from Hannah Westerlerge, junior from Dickinson, Texas now. Serve that over. Rivetta and Hubbard And point for the Saints as Bailey Hubbard draws the Saints back to within 3. Substitution here as Thomas will check back in to serve. Olivetis into as well for the Saints. Should be on the back line. That's going to be a service error. And giving up 3 points there, the Saints. Once again. And not really a strong effort on the serve there from Thomas. Serve is over. Thomas sets up Hubbard. Right at Fernandez Miller towards the net. Hubbard sends it back over that long reach of hers. Swain. Move back around there from Endres. Diving there. Olivetis cannot get to it. And point for St. Thomas. And St. Thomas again will have a 5-point advantage here. As Lauren Endres, the freshman from Montgomery, Texas, to serve. And a service error for St. Thomas. So St. Thomas picks up their second service error. The Saints also with 2 service errors here in this first set. Swain over. Endres comes up in front of that one. Looks around. And the point there for St. Thomas. And a 5-point advantage again for the Celts. And a point for the Saints. Trying to answer there. Saints trail by 4. And the serve coming from Hubbard. Up in there comes Thomas over the top. And Hubbard and Rivetta there. Rivetta backs off a bit. Hubbard couldn't get there in time. And a point to St. Thomas. Back to a 5-point advantage once again. So the serve coming. Up and over Rivetta. Nicely kept alive by Endres. All the way across, finding its way is Moran. And St. Thomas picking up now what is their largest lead of the match, and a timeout coming for the Saints. So the Saints trailing now 17-11 here in the first set here to St. Thomas. It's the best 3 out of 5. Versus 25, win by 2. If it goes to a 5th set, 15, win by 2. Remember, for a limited time at OLLUSaintsGear.com, Saints fans will receive a free t-shirt with a purchase of $35 or more through October 23rd. Proceeds benefit OLLU Athletics. Saints again will continue their conference schedule on Thursday when they travel to New Mexico to take on University of the Southwest next Saturday. And next Saturday they will be in Oklahoma to take on Langston. Softball teams are in Kerrville tomorrow for a round robin hosted by Schreiner University. And the soccer teams will play a non-conference game against Paul Quinn today in Dallas. For updates on all Saints activities, visit the website at www.ollusaintsathletics.com and follow the Saints on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter. Use the hashtag OLLU Volleyball. So Saints right now struggling all around, as their attack percentage just at 125 right now, and St. Thomas at 444. Both teams with 8 kills, 8 assists each. 11 digs for St. Thomas, 10 digs for the Saints, 1 ace for St. Thomas. And 3 Saints with 2 kills, Bailey Hubbard, Natalie Fazio, and Raven Swain, the kills leaders for the Saints. So the serve coming up here for Kelsey Walker. And still getting a little sweat there off the floor. As Kelsey Walker there dribbling, waiting for her attempt to serve here. The freshman from Baytown, Goose Creek Memorial High School, on the Texas coast. And into the net, service error. And that will be the 3rd service error now for St. Thomas. And Anissa Rivetta to serve. As again, waiting. Perspiration off the court there. It's Anissa Rivera. Sophomore from El Paso sends it over. Kelsey Walker back. Pushed over the side as just kind of snuck over there by Brescia Orange. Kalani Wood not able to do much with it to keep it in, and a point there for St. Thomas. And their lead is at 6 here in set number 1. Up and over. Rivera to Cardenas. Orange keeps it. Now Walker all the way across over to Indris. And Raven Swain a little late getting over. And the point for St. Thomas. And they now, again, lead by 7. As Orange's serve is over. Fazio. Rivera. As Wood sends it back. Fernandez Miller. Walker. Back around, and that's kept alive by Fazio and punched over by Rivera. Martinez. Rivera back. Fazio sent back down. Again, kept alive. Martinez sends it back over. Orange. Walker. And that's back of the net. The shot there taken by Walker, and that's going to find its way down, and a point for St. Thomas. And their lead is 8, and another timeout coming for the Saints. We'll take a timeout as well. Saints trail by 8 here in set number 1 to St. Thomas. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network. And welcome back to Maybe Gymnasium here on the beautiful campus of Our Lady of the Lake University. Saints trailing St. Thomas out of Houston right now. 20-12 in this Red River Athletic Conference volleyball matchup. Rivera. Fazio, 2 touches by Rivera. Second time Rivera has been caught on that, and it's now a 9-point advantage. And this first set is St. Thomas is running away with it here. Cardenas. Rivera. And Martinez sends it back. Fernandez Miller. Walker tries to sneak it over. And Martinez couldn't get the dig and the point. And the lead is double digits now for St. Thomas. Up and over. Rivera. Goes into the net. And an 11-point lead now. Rivera. Fazio. And again, Walker. Nice job to keep it going. Fazio up. Wood. They're at the net. Finds its way down. Kalani Wood. We'll get the Saints back to within 10. Now Natalie Fazio. Saints have a lot of work to do. It might be a little too much here in this first set. Orange, Walker, Endress, sent back down, point Saints. Saints back to within 9 now. The Saints will need to play near perfect for the remainder of the set. That's Fazio. It's over Orange. Walker back. Sent wide there by Moran. Fazio back at the net again. Saints still fighting here, but still trailing by a lot. They're down 8. 23-15. here in set number one. So the serve coming here for Fazio. Up and over. Moran set back down at the net by Cardenas. Rivera. Cardenas again finds its way in. Point for the Saints. Saints now draw to within 7, and a timeout is going to be called by St. Thomas. The Saints on a bit of a run here with Natalie Fazio on the serve, and a timeout going to be called by Coach Burt and St. Thomas. We'll take a break. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network. And welcome back, everybody. Maybe Gymnasium. Saints trailing here by 7. They were down by 11. And pulled back now to within 7. Still a lot of work to do. Fazio into the net, service error. That doesn't help. That brings up set point now for St. Thomas. And around to serve is going to be Don Walker, the sophomore. Out of Tarkington, Texas. Tarkington High School sends the serve over. Rivera sets up. Cardenas, and it's off of Orange. Point for the Saints. The Saints' pulse is faint, but still there just a little bit. Just waiting for the whistle. So Martinez to serve over. The net sent down by Kalani Wood. Saints within 6 now. Still set point for St. Thomas. The serve over. Orange there. Walker. Sets out Renaud and blown up in the net by Bailey Hubbard. And the Saints to within 5 now. And another timeout for St. Thomas as their lead, that was at 11, is down to 5. We'll take a break. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network. And welcome back. The Saints trail by 5 here in set number 1, but it's still set point for St. Thomas. Still quite a mountain to climb here. Orange there. Walker is up there. That's down and point St. Thomas. And St. Thomas will take the first set 25-19. We'll take a break. We'll be back in just a moment as the Saints try to bounce back in set number 2. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah Tiffin, and I'm the head volleyball coach here at Our Lady of the Lake University in San Antonio, Texas. We are excited to introduce you to our volleyball program and our academic program at the Lake. Our volleyball program has received multiple conference championships and All-Americans these previous few years, and we are excited to compete in the Red River Conference and perennially be a contender. Our school offers small classroom sizes and the ability to get to know your professors very well and be able to interact with with close students in order to get the most out of your degree that you can. We're very excited that we have a high graduation rate with our program, and we've had multiple players graduate with honors these past few years. We hope that you enjoy this video and you become a Saint in the near future. Wings up.
And welcome back, everybody. Maybe Gymnasium here on the beautiful campus of Our Lady of the Lake University. Saints dropping the first set to St. Thomas, 25-19. Both teams with 13 kills apiece in that first set. The big number, though, the attack percentage, St. Thomas 355 attack percentage first set. Saints at 194. Both teams with 12 digs, with 12 assists, 16 digs for St. Thomas, 14 for the Saints. St. Thomas with the service ace. Saints also struggling serving, 3 service errors. Leader in kills right now. Maritza Cardenas with 3, and Natalie Fazio with 3. I have 6 assists coming in from Anissa Rivera. And the leader in digs, 5, is Marina Martinez, who leads the team coming into today. She had 312 total digs coming into today's matchup. The 4.3 average was set. As we're getting ready to start set number 2. Anissa Thomas to serve here for the Saints. Anissa, the team leader in assists on the season, 444 coming into today. She gets ready for this serve of the second set. Saints trying to bounce back and even things up, trailing 1-0. Walker at Renault, and it's going to be a point. As a violation on the Saints there. We'll give St. Thomas the early 1-0 lead here in set number 2. As Hannah Westerlard to serve. And that goes on the side. As Enders kind of set around the post there. Point for the Saints. Saints are leaving it up here at 1 apiece now in set number 2. Raven Swain will be serving now for the Saints. Orange. Westerlage, and that's back there. Again as Renault able to get it down. As Rivetta had a couple attempts there to send it back. But the final one goes down for St. Thomas. 2-1 lead now for the Celts. And the serve is over. Thomas. Rivetta back of the net, sent down and blown up by Renault. As Regal gets that one. And it's now a 3-1 lead. And a service error. Just played both teams early on in this match, as that is now the 5th service error for St. Thomas. Regal sends it back as Thomas sends it around as Fazio just sending it over the net. Thomas there, Hubbard, and goes off the net back. And point for St. Thomas. Their lead is at 2 at 4-2. And a service ace. Fernandez Miller gets a friendly little help there from the net. And a timeout coming for the Saints. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network. And back we go. Saints trailing 5-2 here to St. Thomas. Here in set number 2, down 1 set, 2-0. And again, point St. Thomas. There's a lead now at 4. Thomas, got an us. Popping it over into the net. Fernandez Miller, but kept alive. Fazio's back down. Set up by Thomas. Now Swain, Raven Swain puts it in for the Saints. Saints back now to within 3. As Divinity Gonzalez will commit the service error. And the 4th one now for the Saints. Divinity comes out. And some changes coming here as Emily Garcia, the freshman from San Antonio. Lee High School checks in. Walker here to serve. 4-point lead for St. Thomas. Up it over there as Swain. Thomas, Cardenas, and point. Saints pulls back to within 3 now. As Fazio's serve. Walker sends across and sent wide there by Moran. Saints to within 2 now. And point for the Saints. Fazio here. Service is over, and it's a service error, third service error for Fazio here this afternoon. Fifth for the Saints. The Saints now trail by 2 again here. At point, St. Thomas. Thomas across to Swain. Swain sends it long. Point. St. Thomas, and the lead is 4 here. Swain. Kept alive Walker. Fernandez Miller up high. Endes. Olivetis. Good job there. Snuck over by Thomas, but Walker was right there for it. Olivetis. Thomas. Cardenas. Right off of Endres, and point for the Saints. Back to within 3 here. Another point. St. Thomas. Swain sent back down. There, Bailey Hubbard blocks it at the net. Orange over. And it's going to be wide and a point for the Saints. And the Saints within 3 here. Sanisa Thomas to serve. Thomas to Swain. Swain off of Orange. Fernandez Miller there diving along with Endres, and point for the Saints. Saints to within 2 here. It's Thomas to serve. Thomas, Martinez, Swain, Orange there, into the net, point Saints. Saints back to within 1 here. Can the Saints wake up as we got a timeout called by St. Thomas? We'll take it as well. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network. And welcome back. Saints trail by 1 as substitutions coming St. Thomas way. It's Brooke Garcia enters the match. Serve over by Thomas. Walker, back Garcia. And mishit there by Olivetis. And a 2-point lead for St. Thomas. As And point for the Saints. As the Saints pull now to within one. Saints down by one here in the second set, trailing 1-0. Saints have won 21 straight conference home matches. Trying to keep it alive here. St. Thomas trying to end it. Over the top, and it's going to find its way down a point for St. Thomas. Saints' last home match loss was in conference was 2014 to UT Brownsville, who no longer exists. As they joined UT Pan Am to become UT RGV. And now Fazio gets the Saints back to within one here. Thomas there. Back down. That's Cardenas will help tie it for the Saints. Cardenas, her sixth kill of the match now. As Bailey Hubbard to serve. Over and a service ace for Bailey Hubbard. Will give the Saints their first lead in this match since the first set early on. Since I think it was 3-2. And Regal will tie it up again. Regal picking up her fourth kill now of the match. Fernandez Miller to serve. 14-14 tie here in set number 2. Back it goes, and it goes behind the antenna. The shot there from Gonzalez, and a point, and St. Thomas takes the lead back at 15-14. That's Fernandez Miller to serve. Fazio, Thomas. Cardenas, Fernandez Miller, probably better off letting that one go, but keeps it going. Thomas, and Gonzalez there. Fernandez Miller, Thomas. Nicely dug up by Martinez. Fazio over the top of the defenders. Orange is there. Set back again. Thomas there at the net. Again, Martinez. Around we go near the net. Close to going into it. Orange will find the line. At point for St. Thomas, and their lead is 2 now. Fernandez Miller to serve. Up and over. Swain. Thomas sneaks it over. Nice arm there from Walker just to send it back. And Raven Swain goes into the net, and the lead expands some more here to 3. As Kalani Wood will check in. Nick Gonzalez will come out. That's Fernandez Miller here to serve. As we get the whistle for play to start up again. Up and over. Fazio. Thomas. Cardenas, Fernandez Miller, across over to Orange. As Swain trying to keep it, and she just punches it out wide. And it's a 4-point advantage now for St. Thomas here in set number 2. And a timeout coming for the Saints as they trail by 4 here in set number 2. And down 1-0. For a limited time at OLLUSaintsGear.com, Saints fans will receive a free t-shirt with a purchase of $35 or more through October the 23rd. Proceeds benefit OLLU Athletics. Saints volleyball will continue their conference schedule on Thursday when they travel to Hobbs, New Mexico to take on the University of the Southwest, and next Saturday against Langston in Oklahoma. Softball teams are in action today in Kerrville as they are in a round robin hosted by Schreiner University. And the soccer teams are playing a non-conference matchup today against Paul Quinn College in Dallas. For more updates on the Saints activities, visit the website www.ollusaintsathletics.com. Follow the Saints on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter. Use the hashtag OLLU Volleyball. As the Saints have struggled all afternoon, not hitting well. St. Thomas consistently hitting well. Right now, attack percentages, St. Thomas 309, Saints at 183. And the Saints just seem sluggish out there. Raven Swain, Ritsa Cardenas, each with 6 kills. 11 assists for, right now, for Anissa Thomas. And the dig leader, 8 for Marina Martinez. And no one else able to get much going on the dig side for the Saints. There, Raven Swain wakes up with 1. Martinez just puts it over. Orange, again, Raven Swain across. Cardenas. A nice one there from Fernandez Miller. Send wide, point Saints. Saints now to within 3. So finally, Raven Swain getting some clean touches on there. Kalani Woods is coming out. And back in is Emily Garcia, the freshman. That's Garcia now to serve. Send it up and over. Set up. Walker there at the net. Thomas across. Fazio off defenders. Point Saints. Natalie Fazio. Fazio picking up her 5th kill of the match now. Garcia the serve. Saints trailing by 2. And the serve up and over. Wasselage back. Walker sends it. Raven Swain keeping it going. Fazio off of Fernandez Miller, but Orange able to keep it alive. No! 2 touches on the violation of the Saints. Within 1, as Orange not able to get clean on that one. And hit it twice, and now Garcia to serve. Trailing by 1 here in set number 2, and trailing 1-0. These teams played 5 sets. Last time they met, Raven Swain there. It's going to go wide, and a point for St. Thomas, and the lead is back to 2. The teams went to 5 sets. And St. Thomas even had match point in set number 4, where the Saints were able to come back, tie it, and then take it in 5. That was in Houston a couple of weeks ago. Cardenas off the defender, point Saints, and the Saints back to within 1. Cardenas now with 7 kills, and the match for the Saints. The team leader, Natalie Fazio to serve. Fazio has struggled a bit tonight with the serve. 3 service errors this afternoon. That one right down into a tough spot. Helps get the Saints set up now. Swain back over. A little collision there. Orange just sending it back. Fazio. Thomas. Cardenas over the top. Gets it to go. And Coach Burt not happy as she comes out to the floor to tell her players, because there wasn't a lot of organization there. And now some blood on the leg of Lauren Indris on a cut that she has on the inside of her leg. Now coaching staff there to cover it up. There's a slight delay here in the action. Saints hitting percentage going up a little bit there. They're at 209 now, attack percentage. St. Thomas has dropped a bit at 274. And the Saints up in the dig category. 30 now for the match, 29 for St. Thomas. 8 kills for Marisa Cardenas. She's having a big match this afternoon. They've needed it from her. The junior from Brownsville has really come to play and had some really good net play for the Saints. Fazio the serve here as we're ready to get back into action. And we're tied at 19 and not a lead for the Saints. Back down at the net as we keep going. Orange sends it back, and it's going to find out. Point for the Saints, as that was close. Saints get the lead now, 20-19. Very close on that line there. Natalie Fazio to serve. Up it goes. Endis coming up. That's sent wide, and that's hit hard and down by Brooke Garcia, and Fazio not able to handle it, and a point to St. Thomas, and they've tied it up at 20. That's Brisha Orange, the junior from Longview, Texas, to serve. Up and over. Thomas. Cardenas goes wide. Point, St. Thomas. As the Saints' attack percentage rough today as it was yesterday. Cardenas sends it back over. Deep. Olivares nicely digs it up. Cardenas back again. Fernandez Miller sets across now. Endres. Olivares again. Thomas. Swain back at the net and can't get it in a sit down there by St. Thomas. St. Thomas the lead of 2 now here in set number 2. Over it goes. Thomas. Cardenas. Up there. Orange trying to keep it alive. Walker will send it over. Olivares. Thomas back. Finds the floor. Point Saints. Saints to within 1 now. Bailey Hubbard checks back in. Martinez the serve. Up and over. Endres. At the net. Back it goes. Raven Swain. Fernandez Miller. Set back over Olivares. Again, Hubbard off of Orange, but kept alive by Walker. Back at the net. Point Saints. Saints have tied it. 22 apiece. Martinez still serving. And this all-important second set. Up and over. Walker all the way across over to Endres. Keeps it down and end point. St. Thomas. As Don Walker to serve here. Up and over. Thomas nicks it back. Orange punches it up. And over by Garcia. Hubbard is going to go long and set point. As St. Thomas a point away from going up 2-0 in this best of 5. And the serve. Olivares. Thomas across to Swain. Swain nicely kept alive there from Walker. 2 touches by Endres. And the Saints back to within 1. Still set point, St. Thomas. As Anissa Thomas to serve. Up and over. Set it back. Set it down and end point. St. Thomas takes the second set. 25-23. They are up 2 sets to nothing, folks. And the Saints 21 match conference winning streak is on the line, folks. We'll come back for set 3. Saints got to win. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah Tiffin, and I'm the head volleyball coach here at Our Lady of the Lake University in San Antonio, Texas. We are excited to introduce you to our volleyball program and our academic program at the Lake. Our volleyball program has received multiple conference championships and All-Americans these previous few years, and we are excited to compete in the Red River Conference and perennially be a contender. Our school offers small classroom sizes and the ability to get to know your professors very well and be able to interact with with close students in order to get the most out of your degree that you can. We're very excited that we have a high graduation rate with our program, and we've had multiple players graduate with honors these past few years. We hope that you enjoy this video and you become a Saint in the near future. Wings up.
Well, this is it for the Saints. This third set, got to win out. We got to force it to 5, or the 21-match home winning streak in conference play will come to an end. Saints showed a little bit of life towards the end of that second set. Took them a while to wake up. They got to stay awake now for the remainder and try and push it to 5 sets and get the victory here against St. Thomas. These two teams played 5 sets earlier this year when they played. That was in Houston. Saints were able to come away with a 3-2 victory. And that matchup back on September the 30th. So we're ready to get things going on the floor for the Saints. It's Martinez, Wood, Olivetis, Swain, Cardenas, and Thomas. It's Thomas, Regalt, Endres, Westerlige, Fernandez Miller, and Orange on the court for St. Thomas. And we'll see how this young Saints team reacts here to the adversity of being down at home by 2 sets to a conference opponent. Thomas, Cardenas gets it down. And the junior continues to make an impact for the Saints now, her 9th kill of the match. Sets back, Endres. And point for the Saints. And the Saints take an early lead at 2-0. Miss hit by Thomas. Endres, Fernandez Miller trying to send it, and it goes into the net. And St. Thomas coming out a bit flat here early in set number 3. Saints with a 3-0 lead here. Thomas's serve, Orange there. Westledge over to Thomas as Swain, Fernandez Miller. Now Thomas will send it back. Thomas, Cardenas gets it down, 10 kills now. As the junior from Brownsville, Veterans Memorial High School. Their 10th kill of the match. Gives the Saints a 4-0 lead here, and the first point there for St. Thomas. It's now 4-1. Saints with the lead. Coming in to serve now, St. Thomas, is Lindsey Wynn, the junior from Houston. Ahead, got an us. Raven Swain keeps it alive. Orange. Sets up again. Thomas. Martinez sets back. Swain. Fernandez Miller. Thomas sneaks it back and finds it just inside the line. And the point now for the Saints, a 4-point lead again. Raven Swain to serve. Just loops it over. Not there. Forgot there for it. And that's put down by Orange. And the point for St. Thomas. And Fernandez Miller to serve here. Fazio. And Swain will send it over. Fernandez Miller. Set up again. Orange trying to get it down, and Orange will do it again. Orange, her 7th kill of the match now. Will bring St. Thomas to within 2. As Fernandez Miller still serving. Lauren Fernandez Miller, junior from Houston. Up and over. But miss hit there by Dawn Walker will give the point to the Saints as she kind of cupped it around and kept it on the St. Thomas side. And Martinez to serve here. 3-point advantage. Edwards checks back in. As Wynn will come out for St. Thomas. Martinez serve. Catches it there. All the way across over to Orange there at the net. Fazio. Good job to keep it alive. Swain and blown up at the net by Dawn Walker. Walker with the solo block to put it down. As Brooke Garcia will check back in for St. Thomas. And Kelsey Walker serving. Thomas back is Wood. Do the catch defenders? Nope, point for St. Thomas. As Raven Swain trying to say that it went off the fingertips. Kind of looked like it took a different direction. The official says no. So Thomas. Hubbard gets it down. Point Saints. Bailey Hubbard with her 3rd kill now of the match. Had a big night last night. The 10 kills for the freshman. 5 blocks. Been kind of quiet today. It's Walker. That's Garcia. Martinez. Thomas sneaks it over, but Walker there. Fernandez Miller. Endress sends it over. Thomas again. Fazio down at the net. Point Saints. Natalie Fazio gives the Saints a 3-point lead in her 6th kill of the match. As Garcia to serve. Up and over. Walker. Orange. Long. Point Saints. 4-point advantage here. Actually a 3-point advantage as we've got the... Somehow we're off on the score there. Or 2-point is, I think we gave a point somewhere it shouldn't have. And there, Point Saints now, 3-point advantage. 9-6. Natalie Fazio to serve now for the Saints. Fazio. As Fernandez Miller there. Set back. Over by Brooke Garcia. Thomas. Hubbard. Bailey Hubbard. 4th kill. A 4-point advantage for the Saints here in set number 3. Trailing 2-0 to St. Thomas. A 21 home conference match winning streak on the line for the Saints. Fazio. Endress sends it. Up in the air by Garcia. Thomas now. Swain. Sent back in the net. Garcia, nice job. Thomas. Fazio over the top. Fernandez Miller came forward for it. Over to Endress. Endress sends it wide. Point for the Saints. And the lead is at 5 now at 11-6. Natalie Fazio here for the serve. Sends it over. Fernandez Miller there. Raven Swain! The lone senior on this club puts it down for the Saints. And the Saints lead is at 6. Their largest of the match. Natalie Fazio here to serve. Up. Fernandez Miller. There at the net. Just kind of punch back and Endress. And point for the Saints, and the Saints lead is at 7, and a timeout called by St. Thomas. Saints trying to stay alive here, trailing 2-0, but leading 13-6 here in the third. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network. And welcome back, everybody. Maybe Gymnasium here on the beautiful campus of Our Lady of the Lake University on the west side of San Antonio, Texas. Mike Thompson here as the Saints trying to get back into this one. Trailing 2-0, but right now with a 13-6 lead and set number 3 over their rival from down the road in I-10, St. Thomas out of Houston. A 21-match home winning streak in conference play on the line for the Saints here. Walker, there's Dawn Walker. Kind of came out saying that she slipped and went underneath. The point for the Saints. The Saints lead is at 8 now. Fazio. Not so much power on that one, just kind of a little bit of finesse. They're trying to get it going. Garcia, nicely dug up from Garcia. As Hubbard, that wingspan of hers, is able to keep it alive there for the Saints. Endress. Swain back. Fazio will send it over. Again, Orange. Walker. Brooke Garcia over. Thomas. Hubbard! Bailey Hubbard! And the Saints, 7-point lead. Kill number 6 for freshman Bailey Hubbard. Natalie Fazio now to serve here. Got it over there, Orange. Walker back. Endress kind of off the side there, but gets the point down. And St. Thomas win the run there. The Saints lead is at 15-7 now. Dawn Walker to serve here. As Endress picks up her 6th kill now of the match. Thomas. Bailey Hubbard. And not able to get it over is Dawn Walker, and the Saints will take the lead back to 9. Cardenas to check back in. Martinez will come out. Hubbard serving. Hubbard 1 ace tonight, 6 kills. Walker. And Garcia sends it off of the shoulder there of Raven Swain, and a point for St. Thomas. 8-point lead. Huston-Tillotson sends it over. Thomas, cross, Swain, sent back in the net. Cardenas. Thomas. Cardenas back again. Andrus. Thomas to send it back deep. Olivetis. Cardenas there at the net again. Thomas kept alive. Fernandez Miller. Sets back 2 touches and point for the Saints. 9-point lead here. Lonnie Wood to check back in for the Saints. Thomas to serve. Set all the way across over to Thomas. Alive at the net there for the Saints. Thomas back. Wood sends it, and Fernandez Miller can't get it. And the Saints now with a double-digit lead here in set number 3. Thomas serve is over. Fernandez Miller again. Orange to send it back. Martinez. Thomas. Cardenas. Back around Andrus. Sends it wide. Point Saints. An 11-point lead. And a timeout called by St. Thomas. As the momentum has shifted here, and the Saints with an 11-point lead. We'll take a break as well. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network. Welcome back, everybody. Maybe Gymnasium here on the beautiful campus of Our Lady of the Lake University on the west side of San Antonio, Texas. Saints with a 19-8 lead here in set number 3. As they're trailing, though, 2-0 to St. Thomas. The Saints have a 21-match winning streak in conference here at home on the line here this afternoon. St. Thomas will draw to within 10. St. Thomas, I know, wants to end that streak for the Saints, and the Saints want to keep it going. Martinez. Thomas across over to Swain. Coming in there as Wynn. Back. Fernandez Miller. Thomas sets up. Wood. Sent back down. Cardenas and out. Point. St. Thomas. So St. Thomas with 2 quick points coming out of the timeout have drawn to within 9. As Lindsey Wynn prepares to serve here for St. Thomas. Up and over. Thomas sets up. Swain over the top. And point for the Saints. As Regal came forward, I think, or when she shouldn't have, I believe was the violation. But this is a point for the Saints now at 20-10. Saints have led by as many as 11 in this match. St. Thomas's largest lead was 11. Also in the match, and that was in the first set. Regal. Cross over to Orange. Swain shot sent back, just a deflection, and point St. Thomas. And St. Thomas not ready to give up on this third set yet. It's Fernandez Miller. Up and over. Thomas. Fazio. Andrus. Orange at the top, kept alive by Fazio. Thomas, Swain, Fernandez Miller. Sets up for Thomas. Thomas finds an empty spot in the court. Another point for St. Thomas. So they're within 8 now. But they've scored 4 of the last 5 points here in this third set. Fernandez Miller over, and it's going to be a service error. And that has troubled both teams this afternoon. That is the 6th for St. Thomas, matching the 6th that the Saints have. Martinez to serve. Orange sets up for Walker. Back of the net there by Hubbard. And that's sent wide. Point Saints. Saints lead is back to 10. Fernandez Miller. Westleridge sends it long. Point for the Saints. (23-12). Martinez serving. Westleridge. Thomas Swain there. Thomas has Bailey Hubbard. 8 kills, 6 in this third set have given set point to the Saints. Orange will go wide. Point Saints. Saints take the second set, 25-12. They trail 2-1. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the fourth set in a moment. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah Tiffin, and I'm the head volleyball coach here at Our Lady of the Lake University in San Antonio, Texas. We are excited to introduce you to our volleyball program and our academic program at the Lake. Our volleyball program has received multiple conference championships and All-Americans these previous few years, and we are excited to compete in the Red River Conference and perennially be a contender. Our school offers small classroom sizes and the ability to get to know your professors very well and be able to interact with with close students in order to get the most out of your degree that you can. We're very excited that we have a high graduation rate with our program, and we've had multiple players graduate with honors these past few years. We hope that you enjoy this video and you become a Saint in the near future. Wings up.
And welcome back, everybody. Maybe Gymnasium here on the beautiful campus of Our Lady of the Lake University. Saints trail 2-1. We head to set number 4 here. Saints try to claw their way back as their 21-match home conference winning streak in jeopardy here against St. Thomas. Saints 8-0 on the season in conference play this season. St. Thomas at 4-4. As we get ready for this 4th set to start. Last time these two played on September 30th, it went 5 sets. Saints able to pull that one off. As Anissa Thomas will serve to start things off for the Saints. Thomas is the freshman. 3 kills this afternoon, 5 digs. And continuing to lead the team in assist with a strong effort this afternoon as well. And that's going to be 2 touches and point for the Saints to start things off here. Set number 4. Saints 1-0 here. Set number 4. Thomas into the net, service error. 7 service errors for the Saints this afternoon. It's waiting here. So Regal checks back in. And Kelsey Walker to serve. Thomas sits ahead over to Wood. Wood gets it in front of Orange. The Saints with the lead there. Kalani Wood, her 4th kill now of the match. For the junior from San Antonio, Edison High School. Hernandez Miller, Orange, Cardenas keeps it alive there. Fazio sends it back, Walker, Hernandez Miller, Thomas, sent back at the net by Cardenas. Again, Cardenas! Point Saints. The junior from Brownsville. Keeping it going here for the Saints today. She has 10 kills on the afternoon. And Thomas back over. And that's down. Martinez back down, and that's going to be Brooke Garcia. Actually came in over the net there on the violation there, and a point for the Saints instead there on Brooke Garcia on the violation. Ford, Garcia again, nicely dug up there at the net, put down, and Raven Swain. Fazio sends it over. Thomas. Walker there at the net, Fazio. Kept it alive for the Saints again. Thomas, Wood, put down, Kalani Wood. 5 kills in the Saints on what looked like a certain St. Thomas point there. Saints would not let the ball hit the floor. Back it goes, Fazio, net, and that one will. Point St. Thomas. It's Caden Thomas now, the junior, out of Huffman, Texas, to serve. Transfer from San Jacinto Junior College, and Wood there. Martinez. Thomas back. Cardenas back down and blown up in the net. There by Don Walker and Brooke Garcia. So Caden Thomas serves again. Martinez. Thomas across over to Fazio. Fazio gets it. On the point for the Saints. Their lead is at 3. Fazio, her 7th kill of the match. Martinez. Walker across. Regault gets it down and point for St. Thomas. Regault now with 6 kills for the Celts. Garcia. Thomas. Fazio. Garcia, good job to dig that up. Again. And Fazio. And again, Garcia. Orange over. Fazio. Thomas. Swain from back. Comes forward. Diving ahead, Walker to keep it alive. Orange. Thomas. Wood off the fingertips. Point Saints. Three-point lead again for the Saints here. And that'll bring up Emily Garcia, the freshman, to serve for the Saints. As we get the sweat off the floor. Wait for Garcia to serve. As they're checking substitution here, the rotation, and as now they have everything set for St. Thomas. As the official will come and double check. Everybody is where they need to be with the substitutions. Actually, no substitution, I believe. Coaches were checking it. Now set up. Regault will send it wide. Point Saints. So Emily Garcia to serve again here for the Saints. Saints with a 4-point advantage here in the set. Walker sets up. Orange sent back in the net by Fazio and Hubbard. Regault. Thomas sneaks it over. Brooke Garcia to keep it alive. Regault. Fernandez Miller sends it out wide. Point Saints. 5-point lead now for the Saints. And a timeout called by St. Thomas. For a limited time at OLLUSaintsGear.com, Saints fans will receive a free t-shirt with a purchase of $35 or more. That's through October the 23rd. All proceeds benefit OLLU Athletics. Saints will continue their conference schedule on Thursday when they travel to New Mexico to take on the University of the Southwest. And next Saturday, they'll be in Langston, Oklahoma to take on the Lions of Langston. Softball teams are in Kerrville today for a round robin hosted by Schreiner University, and the soccer teams are in Dallas this afternoon as they are taking on Paul Quinn College. And for more updates on all Saints activities, visit the website at www.ollusaintsathletics.com. Follow the Saints on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter. Use the hashtag OLLU Volleyball. So the Saints here with the early lead, 5 points here in set number 4. Saints trying to even it up at 2 sets apiece and force a 5th set. And right now the Saints, for the first time today, it's come in this 4th set, they now lead in the attack percentage at 219. And St. Thomas's attack percentage has dropped to 196. Saints 42 kills, 39 for St. Thomas, and the serve over now by Emily Garcia. Walker back. Regault kept alive by Thomas. Martinez. Fazio sets it up, puts it down. Natalie Fazio. 6-point lead, and the junior from Plano with 8 kills now. Emily Garcia. Up and over. Sets it up. Back it goes from Brooke Garcia. Thomas. Fazio over the top. Fernandez Miller. Garcia over. Swain. Thomas sets up for Hubbard. Sent back down there by Regault. Fazio over the top of the defenders, kept alive into the net for a moment. Orange went for it, couldn't get it. Point for the Saints. The lead is 7 now in set number 4. So Emily Garcia. Serve again here. Up and over. Orange over the, can't get it over the top into the net. Point for the Saints. On the error there, and an 8-point advantage now for the Saints. Garcia over. Sets up. Over. Up into the stands and the point for St. Thomas. As they'll end the run there. As Walker. Second kill of the match there. Edris is checked back in. Lester Lodge to serve. Up and over. Cross over to Fazio. Back. Fernandez Miller. Orange. Fazio off of Orange. Kept alive by Garcia. Lester Lodge shoots it over. Thomas. Back over the top, hits the floor, point Saints. Anissa Thomas putting it down. 8-point lead for the Saints, and Natalie Fazio now for the serve. Serve is over. And service ace, Natalie Fazio. Natalie Fazio. With her second ace of the afternoon, 42 on the season. Team leader, and that one Orange. And now Fernandez Miller back, and it's going to go long. Point Saints. 10-point lead here in set number 4. Fazio sends it. Orange. Endress into the net for 4 hits there, and point Saints. The lead is 11 now. And that'll bring a change in the lineup as Endress will come out. And Carissa Moran will check back in for St. Thomas. Moran, who we have not seen since set number 2. Fazio catches the top of the net. Service ace. And that was a laser beam. Third service ace for Natalie Fazio on the day. 43rd for the season. Leads the team. We'll take a break. Saints with the lead, 17-5, but trailing 2-1. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network. And welcome back. Natalie Fazio still serving. She's had 2 aces in this service rotation for her. Up it goes. 3 for the match. Moran there, blocked at the net. Bailey Hubbard, point for the Saints. It's now a 13-point advantage now. The largest lead by either team here in the match. Fazio gets it. Fernandez Miller to keep it. Runs back. It's Walker over. Thomas to Bailey Hubbard, who just, everyone was kind of out of position there. Chance here for St. Thomas, and Orange will make the Saints pay for their mix-up there. And that's the 11th kill now for Orange today. And now they're checking the rotation for St. Thomas. So they're saying she was the back row. And so now they're checking to see if St. Thomas got out of position somehow. And no. And Orange is not serving. And Fernandez Miller is serving. And now they're holding up again. Thomas came in, and now Orange is back, and now Orange is serving. And back. And Thomas. As they had 7 on the court for a moment there, now they have 6. But they're trying to figure out now the rotation, I think, is set. And service error. All that, we got a service error for St. Thomas. So it's 19-6 now, Saints with the lead. And the 7th service error for St. Thomas this afternoon. Thomas to keep it alive. Hubbard sets up for Swain. Swain gets her 12th kill of the match. Actually, what are they? No, they're saying it didn't touch a player, although it looked like it did, so it's point for St. Thomas. And not the 12th kill of the match for Raven Swain. Thomas. Back. Martinez. Thomas sends it back. Orange there. Garcia over. Olivetis. Thomas. And Cardenas is long, trying to say it was touched. Coach Jeremiah Tiffin upset with the call, but it's going to stay with St. Thomas there. Fernandez Miller over. Cardenas that time. Hits the floor. Cardenas now 11 kills on the match. Her and Raven Swain, the leaders for the Saints with 11. Thomas to serve here. Saints lead is at 12. It's been as high as 14 today. The serve over. Kept up. And Swain keeping it alive. Into the stands. And back she goes. Back over from Garcia and point. As Raven caught the net. As we're having a little video issue here. Hopefully we'll have that justified here or fixed in just a moment. We'll keep you going down there. Point for the Saints. Saints now 21-9 to lead here. As we down. Martinez. Fazio back. Up we go. There's Swain. Again, Fazio gets it down for the Saints, 22-9. Natalie Fazio puts it down for the Saints. And the lead now 22-9. We'll try and get everything up and going for you here in just a moment. Right now 22-9. Raven Swain to serve for the Saints. Over Swain goes. Up, set forward, and pushed all the way back by Thomas. And Thomas will get the point as it goes back to that far right corner, just out of the reach of Raven Swain. And it's 22-10 now. Thomas to serve now for St. Thomas. Up and over, Fazio. Thomas sets up for Woods. And off the defender, Orange, there at the net point for the Saints, 23-10. Saints with the lead here in set number 4. Back down again, Bailey Hubbard. Set point, Saints trying to even it up here. Up and over. Goes around, 2 touches. Point for the Saints, 25-10. We'll take a break. We'll be back with your 5th set in a moment, as we're all tied up 2 apiece. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network. in set number 5. As we get ready for everything back and going again. Point for the Saints now. Saints 2-1 lead here in the set. As we get ready for the serve there from Raven Swain. Up and over. Across there, Orange. Down there for Fazio. Thomas sets back. Fazio over the top of the net. Thomas. Orange way back. Swain. Thomas up into the net point. And we're tied at 2. First of 15 here in the set. First to 15, win by 2. And down there is St. Thomas will take a 3-2 lead here. Thomas, Fazio sent back down to Raven Swain. And trying to 4 hits was the call. Saints trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure that out. Now it's 4-2. And the serve over from Walker. And down point Saints. Natalie Fazio. Marina Martinez. The serve here. Up and over. Put back down. At point for the Saints. We're tied at 4. And what has been a very good one. 2 sets apiece, 4-4 here, the score. Sent back long, point Saints with the lead here in set number 5. Saints dropped the first set, 25-19, dropped the second, 25-23. Won the third, 25-12, fourth, 25-10, and now trying to take it in the 5th set and come back. Hubbard, nice job with those long arms to bring it over. Thomas, Hubbard again, not on the same page. And there's Orange, Hubbard there. Thomas, Wood there at the net. Garcia to keep it alive. Orange sends it back, Swain, Martinez. Fazio punches over but goes into the net. And point for St. Thomas. And we're tied at 5. Here in the 5th set. Saints 21 match home conference winning streak on the line here. And their perfect record in conference this year. Fazio caught by the defender. Point for the Saints. Natalie Fazio. 11 kills now for the junior from Plano. Emily Garcia coming in to serve now for the Saints. Six to 5, up and over. Orange, Walker across. Kept up. Hubbard punches it back over. Thomas puts up. Swain from back deep. Fernandez Miller. Walker. Endes is going wide and long. Point for the Saints. And their lead is at 2 now. As they will be switching sides here pretty soon. Walker. And back again. Thomas sneaks it back. Orange there. Off point Saints. 8 to 5. And we will switch sides and take a quick break. Actually, won't take a break. We'll just wait here for them to get the sides here. But again, finally got the video back up and running after a little delay there. But we got to go in here for you here as it's 8 to 5. Saints with a 3-point lead here in set number 5. Saints attack percentage at 223 now. St. Thomas at 149. St. Thomas was at or near 400 for the first 2 sets, and the Saints were around 175 for those first 2. Turn it around here. Raven Swain. Ricocheted all the way back over to Orange. Cross now. Fazio. Snuck back again. Fernandez Miller. Back deep, Orange. Swain. Thomas. Fazio. Fernandez Miller again to keep it alive. Sends it back. Sent back in the net. The shot from Endress. Sent back by Bailey Hubbard and the Saints with a 9-5 lead here in set number 5. Garcia over. All the way across over to Endress. Martinez. Fazio over the top. Kept up by Walker. Fernandez Miller. Now Brooke Garcia. Thomas looks. Hubbard finds it in. Finds the floor. Point Saints. Bailey Hubbard, 10 kills. And a timeout, St. Thomas. 10-5, Saints lead. We're tied 2 sets apiece here in the 5th set. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network. Welcome back, everybody. Maybe Gymnasium here on the beautiful campus of Our Lady of the Lake University on the west side of San Antonio, Texas, for this Red River Athletic Conference matchup between 2 rivals. Our Lady of the Lake University and St. Thomas. University of St. Thomas out of Houston. Saints trailed 2 sets to nothing, have come back, forced a 5th set, and now lead 10-5 in set number 5. Walker. Garcia sends it over. Raven Swain, good job to keep it alive. 2 touches by Martinez. And St. Thomas back to within 4 here. As John Walker with the serve. Garcia, Thomas, Hubbard! 11 kills for Bailey Hubbard. The lead is back to 5. And now Natalie Fazio with 3 service aces today. 43 on the season, leads the team in that category for the junior out of Plano, Texas. Sends that one, Fernandez Miller. And that's off point Saints. Saints now with a 6-point lead at 12-6. Fazio sends it. Endress there. Raven Swain puts it down. 14 kills for Raven Swain to go along with 15 digs on the afternoon for the senior from Pflugerville. And Fazio now to serve again. Over the top, Orange. Regault sends it over. Thomas, Hubbard over the top, hits the floor, and point for the Saints. Match point for the Saints, and a timeout called by St. Thomas. Saints trailed 2 sets to nothing and have come back, and now we're at match point in set number 5. We're going to take a break. You're watching Saints Volleyball on the OLLU Saints Network. And welcome back. As Natalie Fazio, the junior from Plano, to serve here, trying to serve the Saints the match here after trailing 2-0. The Saints have fought back here against St. Thomas and are a point away from extending their conference match home win streak to 22 games. Fazio here to serve. She's got 3 aces today, 43 on the season, leads the team. Sends that one, orange. Walker across over to Regault. Regault will get it down. And Sophie Regault, the junior out of France, will keep it alive for St. Thomas here. They trail by 7. And serving here in set number 5. Still going here. Hubbard off the defenders. That'll do it. Bailey Hubbard will give the Saints the victory as they will win it 3-2 over St. Thomas, and will extend their regular season conference home win streak to 22 matches. The big win there for the Saints. Bailey Hubbard finishes here with 13 kills on the match. He had just 2 in the first set. Finished the rest of the match there. Saints 59 kills on the match, 44 for St. Thomas. Saints attack percentage at .250. St. Thomas is at 131. Assists 49 for the Saints, 39 for St. Thomas. 67 digs for the Saints, 60 for St. Thomas. 4 service aces, 3 of those for Natalie Fazio, and 2 for St. Thomas. Final on the kill count, leader in kills, Bailey Hubbard. Actually, no, Raven Swain, 14 kills on the match, 13 for Bailey Hubbard, 11 each for Maritza Carinas and Natalie Fazio. Assist, big night on assist. Anissa Thomas with 39 assists for the Saints. The digs, 17 coming from Marina Martinez and 15 from Raven Swain. As the Saints get the victory, go to 9-0 on the season, 14-7 overall, and 9-0 in conference play. St. Thomas will drop now to 7-11 overall, 4-5 in conference play. Saints get the win. Next matchup for the Saints, not coming up at home until Halloween night when they take on Schreiner, as they will be on the road. As that'll do it for us here, folks. Again, Saints win it 3-2, coming back from a 2-0 deficit to beat the rival St. Thomas. So from everybody here at Maybe Gymnasium, Mike Thompson saying, so long, everybody. We'll see you next time.